This Polo Cup action is proudly brought to you by Oettinger, Falcon Tires, Total Exilium Fuel, and Ferodo.
After 4.5 months off, it's a big welcome back to the Oettinger Polo Cup here at Zwartkops and the Extreme Festival. And after that 4.5 months, it's basically been Dario Busi who's been at the lead of the championship after an incredible round the first time out on the 14th of March. He now looks to extend that lead and possibly even go further into the championship with the shortened version of 2020's calendar. He's going to be pushed hard. There's a lot of guys who've been working in the off-season and in this lockdown period to make sure that their cars are ready to go. Let's go and find out what happened in qualifying and see if anybody can outgun the boys from Universal Motorsport.
A massive surprise during qualifying saw two of the youngsters and rookies in the class make their way into the top six. Kwanda Mokoena pushing hard and Leighton Fourie for Signature Motorsport were a big surprise for everybody, and no one expected them to be in the top six. Darren Oates and Justin Oates as usual at the front end with Dario Busi pushing as hard as he can. And another big surprise came out of G Energy's Yuri Swart. The man from Cape Town is certainly looking like he's got what it takes here today, and hopefully will be at the front end by the time they get into Superpole. Jaden Else, ex-karting champion, pushing hard as well, one of the youngest competitors. He's no longer the youngest because Leighton Fourie has stepped up. The usual contenders now have to deal with the youngsters in this category. The top six from qualifying now transfer to Superpole. Let's catch up with Darren Oates.
I'm quite excited. I must say, in the qualifying session just now, the times didn't come as easy as I expected, so I really had to give it everything. So yeah, let's see if I can repeat that again now in Superpole.
Dario Busi, the meat and the sandwich between the two Oates boys.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. I think my car setup feels good. I think in these conditions it might even be just as strong as on the new tire run this morning. So let's hope I can also put in a good lap now and put it on pole position.
Leighton Fourie, youngest man in this class ever, makes his way out into Superpole for his very first outing. It's an incredible effort he's put in there. Dario Busi will be looking to get to the front end, so will Yuri Swart in the G Energy car. The two Cape Town boys looking to take on the locals here. All of them pushing as hard as they can. Kwanda Mokoena didn't quite get it all right during Superpole and unfortunately ended up right at the back. When the flag came out, on top, it was Justin Oates.
You absolutely blew them away in the qualifying with an 11 dead. No one came close to you, and then 11-2 put you at the front end of Superpole.
Yeah, I'm really chuffed. We were a bit conservative on tire strategy in practice yesterday, so I'm really chuffed it worked out well. We spoke this morning and said maybe we should be able to get into the 10, so I was just pushing for that, and the 11 did. I didn't know if it was good enough, but obviously it was, and I'm really happy.
Kwanda, I'm suitably impressed by there's massive improvements from you and your team, and looks like the rivalry that happened in karting between you and Leighton is about to start again.
Yeah, super happy with the qualifying. Unfortunately, made a mistake on my Superpole lap, which pushed me back to P6. But also, I'm very happy for Leighton. He did a flippin' good job for quali to get inside of the top six, and I was just all up to the race.
For race number 2 now, we go to the second fastest lap from qualifying. It looks like Clint Besaidnot will be the first man to go and draw and see exactly where he's going to end up for race 2. He pulls the number out. Let's see if he's going to be lucky. He goes to 5th. He won't be happy about that. That's the last row of Superpole as we would see it. Let's have a look and see what Chris Shorter, an ex-champion, can do in this one. He goes to the 2nd row in 3rd place. JP van der Walt will join him there. So there'll be two very seasoned campaigners in this category. You can see all the PPE being taken. And Dario Busi's happy. Reason is he's pulled number 1. Pole position for Universal Health and Motorsport team. Which means Darren and Justin Oates have got opportunities, and unfortunately Justin Oates is at the back. He will go to 6th place. There's only one more position for Darren, which means he'll line up alongside Dario Busi on that front row for race number 2.
Youngest competitor ever in the Oettinger Polo Cup, Leighton Fourie. What an incredible start, buddy. Coming to Zwartkops for your first outing, and you're already in the mix.
Yeah, no, it was a hooked up lap. I had a few of them, but you're not close to the field there, so I didn't get my second best time and I couldn't draw. But yeah, I'm happy with the times. My pace is really good. Let's see if I can hook up the start and maybe get a few positions and go from there.
It didn't quite work out like it did at the first round, but I'm sure you're pretty happy with the draw.
No, definitely. Obviously, the first place is always the best place to start. Obviously, it didn't go for us like that for Heat 2 in round 1. And the boys are fast. Justin, Yuri, they really are on it this weekend, and I think it's going to be a lot tougher than round one was. But definitely, I think the plan is just to stay there in the points, stay there in the top three. It's, the championship's been half now, so points are even more important, and just being at the front all the time, I think hopefully that there'll be enough to take it at the end of this year. But eyes forward, and let's hopefully get good finishes today.
That's qualifying Super Pole and the draw for race number 2. Join us after the break for race 1. Welcome back to Zwartkops in action from Oettinger Polo Cup. Now, with tricky conditions and very cool conditions here today, tyres are going to be vital. In order to win races, you're going to have to make sure that you've got the tyres on that are going to get you to the end of the 2 heats of racing today after you've done the qualifying in Super Pole. Let's find out in race 1 now who's done that to perfection.
It's time to go racing, and everybody now putting in that Total Exilium fuel, getting those Falcon tyres all sorted out. And as they roll out onto Zwartkops for the second time this season, this is how they'll line up. Justin Oates and Dario Busi, Darren Oates and Kwanda Mokoena, then Leighton Fourie and Yuri Swart, JP van der Walt and Chris Shorter, then it's Matt Shorter, Besaid Note, Neervilling and Stian Kriel. Those two will be a bit upset about where they ended up. Woody ahead of Else, and then Hammond and Stuart White, also disappointing from him. Damien Hammond and Natim Samanga with Dean Fenter and Buxy right at the back of the field. As soon as those lights go out, we go racing. We go on board here with Dario Busi for the start. Good start from Dario. Great start from his fellow compatriot from Cape Town, Yuri Swart, as he dives on the inside, looking for a way through there on Justin Oates. Puts a wheel on the dirt, and looks like it's going to be everything she can as they go through. Oh, in the background, problems. That's a huge one. Kwanda Mokoena coming together with Stian Kriel. Mokoena able to catch it, but you can see Kriel went straight in to the outside barrier, and that is going to be costly. Possible safety car. Let's have a look at it here from Stian Kriel's point of view. You can see there's a little touch there, and Kwanda Mokoena comes through after just clipping Chris Shorter. There's nowhere to go for Stian Kriel. He won't be happy with that, but fortunately he's okay. At the top of the hill into turn number 5, you can see just how tight it's getting in that mid-pack. And Clinton Besaidnote trying to make his way through. Disappointing start there for Besaidnote. He's side by side with Hammond in the Trinity protection car. As you can see, Justin Oates pulling away. And there's big pressure coming from Darren on the back end of the third place car at this point. And that is Yuri Swart. He's behind Dario Busi, who sits in second as they cross the line. Side by side, going to go 3 by 3. Are they going to go into turn number 1, 3 by 3? That'll be interesting, because on the inside, JP van der Walt in the Platinum Wheels car, trying to find a way past. Gives Shorter a tap, and Neervilling follows him through the 2 Signature Motorsport cars into the dirty stuff. That's the 4th time that 4 cars have gone in there. It's just non-stop action out of what is now Volkswagen corner at Zwartkops, turn 1. As they come into turn 2, everybody seems to have sorted themselves out. But what a start to this race. Justin Oates getting away, just doing the job perfectly, and so is Dario and Yuri Swart. That's 2nd and 3rd place. Darren under a bit of pressure now, as you can see. The pressure is being applied there big time by JP van der Walt, who survived that first incident into turn number 1. You can see now as they've got them all sorted out. Matt Shorter and Ariel back on track for Signature Motorsport, but a lot of work to do for the two of them. Under braking now. Darren Oates under the pressure that's being applied there by JP. And just behind that, you can see them just sorting things out. Look at the way that Matt Shorter is driving. Trying to find a way through. We go on board with him here on the Munro car. And he's side by side here with Jaden Else. Oh, there's another tap. And Else taps him again. Oh, man. Matt Shorter's been hit by everybody except the pace car. That's the only one who hasn't had a chance to go out there and tap him. He's taking a bit of strain, and he's ended up in the wall. That'll be Matt Shorter's race done and dusted if he can't reverse out of that kitty litter. Another lap completed. And it's Dario Busi who's trying to find a way to close down on Justin Oates, but Oates is pulling away dramatically at the front. Adrian Wood in that mid-pack looking for a top 10 finisher in the Kyocera car, only his 2nd outing in Polo Cup after he went up to GTCs for a while. He's now under pressure from Clinton Besaidnote as they go into turn 2. Let's have a look at the replay here. This is Shorter, and you can see there's the tag from JP. Shorter gets it out of shape. Ari's got nowhere to go. He's got to just follow his teammate through the kitty litter. Fortunately, the two of them got a lot of experience in cars, and both of them catching it nicely to get back on track, but a lot of work now to do for the two of them. Ooh, is that Buxy Kamani going sideways? I think it is, yes. I think he was watching his teammate a bit up the road there. Natim Samanga put one wheel off the road in turn 4, and that's all 4 wheels and a couple of meters off the track there for Buxy Kamani. Front end, though, all about the man, and Justin Oates is not going to be bettered. This is the way you drive when you're in a Total Exilium car that is absolutely dialed in to Zwartkops. And there's no answer coming out of the Universal Motorsport machine behind him there of Dario Busi or the G-Energy car of Yuri Swart. There is big pressure coming from the back end, though. As you can see, Chris Shorter is starting to make his way through, and so is JP van der Walt. They are starting to apply the pressure onto Darren Oates, that man's brother. Justin Oates, though, no pressure for him. Cool, calm, and collected as we go on board with him now. Have a look at this. This is how you win races. You've got to just stay as smooth as silk through turn 3 and onto the back straight. Justin Oates just disappearing at the front end. No answer from any cars behind. That's very smooth driving from him. Dario has closed the gap ever so slightly, but he's coming to the second half of this race, and his brother's under big threat. He's trying to stay defensive on the inside of turn 4, but it's Shorter around the outside. Chris Shorter, that is. And this is on board with Darren, looking in the rearview mirrors, watching the left-hand side. There's Shorter up the left-hand side, looking for a way around the outside of turn 5. As they get up into turn 5, Shorter's going to have a long way around, but if he keeps it all the way around, of course, he's got the left-handers coming up. He goes to the double right at Kenwood. Oh, look at how tight it is. Chris Shorter being in enough room, though. Little tap, but that's how you're going to do this. Not a lot of room to play with there. Shorter gets through and forces his way. No, he's not through yet. Oh, look at that. On his right-hand side is the second of the Total cars, and he's giving it absolute stick through there. Eventually squeezes him out into the left-hander down at G&H Transport corner and off onto the grass. And JP van der Walt, he capitalizes on that one. He dives on the inside of turn 1. Oh, and who's coming behind? Is that Woody? Adrian Wood coming along for the ride. He was very close, very, very close, looking for a chance. No, in fact, that is Leighton Fourie. Leighton Fourie's got ahead of Wood now. So that is an incredible drive coming out of an ex-karting champion. And speaking of ex-karting champions, there's a former world karting champion, Clinton Besaidnout, just behind this battle. Darren Oates looking in the rearview mirror is concerned. He's got 4 or 5 cars on his tail, all looking to pounce and get through on him. He now has to go defensive as he closes on the back end on the final lap here. And it's going to be a very, very tight battle for the rest of the non-podium finishes. Leighton Fourie is in there and pushing Darren Oates to the limit. Here comes Clinton Besaidnout, 3 ex-karters. A karter at the front. We've got a multiple champion down in the Western Province on his tail. But Dario Bussi hasn't quite got there. Remember, he was the Rookie of the Year last year. He now wants to step that up and possibly take the championship. He's going to have to fight hard all season long with the 2 Total Exilium cars and Yuri Swart, his fellow Cape Townian. Coming to the line, it's going to be Justin Oates. Total Exilium going to take the win. Universal Healthcare going to come through for second place with Dario Bussi at the wheel. And it's G Energy's Yuri Swart who will make the top 3 on the podium. Brilliant stuff from Oettinger Polo Cup, as we expected, the first race after lockdown. Oates takes it from Bussi, Swart, and Shorter comes through for 4th place, just beating Darren Oates to the line, with Leighton Fourie right on his tail, JP van der Walt, and Clinton Besaidnout, the second of the Universal Motorsport cars.
Wow, Justin, what an incredible race, buddy. Looks like he had a little bit of issues at the start, but eventually got to the front and then just controlled things.
Yeah, my game plan was to just get it going as quick as possible and pull a gap so I don't have any messy racing to compromise my pace, and that's what I did, and it really turned out well. I was scared that my pace might drop off at the end, which it didn't, so I'm really happy with the win.
Think you can keep it up and possibly come from the back of 6 of the best to make it a double on the day?
Yeah, well, let's hope I can take it from 6 to the front again. I think it's going to be difficult, but I'll try my best.
JP, an incredible start from you, buddy. Trying to get right to the front, right from the word go, and then just unfortunate at the end there.
Yeah, I don't know what I did wrong, but I've missed third gear out of turn 2 like 3 times in the race, and I've lost all my positions there. But I tried flat out to come back, and on the last corner, on the last lap, I just outbraked myself. A bit of a stupid mistake, but it was fun. It's so close. It was proper.
Another exciting day, and another exciting aspect of the day was the launch on the anniversary of Global Touring Cars, 4 years to the day, the new Global Touring Cars Super Cup. Most of them Polo GTIs with Oettinger body kits, and great to see some teams getting back into motorsport again, with Team Perfect Circle, Saul Hack and Andre Besaidnout joining the SMD Exotics team of Maharaj and Sean Germany. At the front end, it kind of was the usual contenders that was expected to be there, and we can see both of the Volkswagen Motorsport entries there pushing hard. Jonathan Machotzi just behind his teammate Brad Limburg, who was on pole position. And alongside him, Jeff Kruger, and those 3 have gone at it numerous occasions in Polo Cup. Now in Super Cup, let's see what's going to happen. As they headed down towards turn 2, an amazing effort being put in here by these guys. Great to see Volkswagen Motorsport backing a brand new category. Joining them with the GT Sports and Saloons, those 111 Sports and Saloon cars going really well. Vota Roos in the mix there as well. But Jeff Kruger eventually got to the front, and it was Brad Liebenberg who'll be looking to close him down. And some of the triple ones getting into the mix with the back markers here of Super Cup. No one's going to catch Jeff Kruger though. Putting it all together very, very nicely. Brad Liebenberg keeping him very honest, but it was a matter of time before that checkered flag came out. Machotzi wasn't quite on the pace, but a man who was certainly on the pace was Saul Hack, stepping out of rear-wheel drive Porsches for most of his racing career, and for the first time out in a front-wheel drive car, was showing that Team Perfect Circle could be a big threat in this championship. Along with his teammate there, Andre Besaidnout, looking for an opportunity to be in the top 5. Sean Dermody would just keep him out of that one, and Dermody making a welcome return. Great to see the SMD Exotics car and that team in full flight. With the checkered flag waiting, Jeff Kruger would just have to do one more corner to keep Brad Liebenberg out. There's a big battle expected between these 3 drivers, Machotzi included, in the debut season of GTC Super Cup. Moving back to the Oettinger Polo Cup now, and teams doing final preparations for race number 2. Looks like there's going to have to be a bit of work to be done by Stradale Motorsport. Catch us after the break for all the action from race 2.
Welcome back to Zwartkops in action from the Oettinger Polo Cup. It's race 2 action time now. And you can see the guys are rolling out. It's going to be an incredible battle once again. Let's see who's going to end up at the top after race number 2 and that checkered flag drops.
Dario Busi will be under a little bit of pressure now. Remember, he came into this round leading this championship, and he hasn't been able to put it at the front and at the top step of the podium just yet. But he is on pole position for race 2. So let's see if he can capitalize on that and hopefully make it right to the end and be on the top step. Heading down towards Volkswagen Corner now, turn 1 now at Zwartkops. Oh, it's good to see Stian Kriel in the mix and already starting to try and find a way through. He wants to try and stay out of trouble if he can. Yuri Swart looks like he's going to get into the thick of it right from the word go. As he's on the inside of turn 2, and you can see here from the G Energy car, right onto the tailpiece there of Justin Oates, who's come from 6th place, who's up to 4th. JP van der Walt at the moment sitting in 3rd, trying to close down on Darren Oates and Dario Busi as they get onto that back straight away. The Platinum Wheels car doing a super job. And remember, he's a man who was at the front end of the race the first time we came to Zwartkops before lockdown, made a big mistake with a massive lead and threw away the chance of his first victory in Polo Cup. Oh, and it looks like he might have done the same thing here. Him and Short have come together and they're off the track, heading into the wall, up the hill towards turn 5. Dario Busi leads out Clint Besaidnout down 3rd place. It's literally Universal Motorsport 1, 2, 3, and 4 with the 2 Total Exilium cars and the 2 Universal Healthcare cars who are absolutely flying. This is Matt Shorter's point of view as Yuri Swart dives on his inside, but Shorter will have the inside line for turn 7. They come out of Mix FM and oh, it's side by side. Who's going to have what it takes on the brakes? Shorter's very good on the brakes, and that Munro car is exceptionally well prepared by Signature Motorsport, but the Cape Town man is trying to go around the outside. On his tail is Ari Neveling looking for a way through, so the 2 Signature Motorsport cars hounding the man from Cape Town in the G Energy car. I'm not quite sure if those other 2 cars have got back on track at this point in time. We'll have to keep an eye on that one. But Shorter and JP coming together as they went up the hill. Behind that, Hammond lines up with, is that Leighton Free? No, JP. That's JP. Very similar colours on those cars, but JP van der Walt has been able to get back on track, and he's just ahead now of Stuart White. It looks like safety car has been deployed. I'm not quite sure if all the drivers have seen the safety car board and those waved yellow flags. Stian Kriel is still flat here, and I'm not quite sure, as I said, if any of these drivers at the front, besides those first 4 cars, realize that the safety car has been deployed. They come out of turn 4 now, heading up the hill, and here come the brake lights. They're all on, and whoa, JP van der Walt tagging a couple. He hits Hammond from the back. He tags the side. And there goes Stuart White and Quantum McQueen going off track as well. Into Africa. Yeah, into Africa big time there for the Stradale Motorsport team. Anyhow, they all sort themselves out now. They've realized the safety car is out. Whatever positions were gained will have to be taken back again or given back, depending on where you were. And safety car out for a couple of laps. This is the reason why. There's the touch. Chris Shorter coming up on the inside. JP van der Walt doesn't really give him much room, and there you go. That's the tag. Shorter sent bang into the sidewall of Citizen Motoring, and JP van der Walt and Shorter out of this one. JP getting back on track as we saw, but unfortunately Chris Shorter doesn't look like he's been able to get back on track at all. That's the reason why. That's JP's point of view heading up the hill. He carries on in a straight line, literally drives through the car as it spins out in front of him. And there you can see once again getting into action as well. I think JP might be having a little chat with Eric Schultz after this. I'm not quite sure if that was the right way to do it. This is his point of view as everybody starts to slow down. Yeah, there was no really where to go for him, but he found a way past and just threaded the needle between the 2 youngsters ahead of him. Shorter not happy though. Safety car's in, and here we go. It's Dario Busi's going to try and catch them all waiting now, because remember, he dictates the pace on the restart. drop the hammer out of turn 8, and that's exactly what he does. The rest of them start to peel through there, and everybody now on the loud pedal. Stuart White and McQuena trying to go together there. There's Dean Fenter, haven't seen much of him, and the two Zwartkops boys at the back also having a bit of a tough time here in the second round here at Zwartkops, their second outing ever in Polo Cup. Heading towards turn 2, here they go. It's Ari Neveling putting pressure onto the back end of his teammate Matt Short as they come into turn 2. A stream of cars going through there. An absolutely awesome shot to actually just see all the carnage that could possibly happen as they went into turn 2. We're on board with Justin Oates. He's made up some ground now. Can he close down on Dario? I'm not quite sure if he's going to be able to catch his brother even. The two of them are so evenly matched. And Clinder Mercedes, as I said, making it Universal Motorsport 1, 2, 3, and 4, even though the two Universal Healthcare cars are 1 and 4 at the moment. This is Steven Creel's point of view as they go side by side up to the top of the hill. He is absolutely hauling, and Shorter is looking for a chance now to outbrake him. Munro car goes on the inside. The Creative Inc car tucking on behind. They've done an incredible job to get that car back on track. So well done to that team for getting that car back on track after the damage that happened in turn 1 after he was taken out unceremoniously there by Kwanda McQuena. Back down onto the breakers for G&H Transport Corner, and it's still continued pressure from Creel on the back end of Shorter. Would he join the party? Here comes the Platinum Wheels car of JP van der Walt as well. So we've got 4 cars fighting for what is about 7th, 8th and 9th place on track. And the rest of them starting to close things down. In fact, if we look at the way things are going, Darren Oates is actually being reeled in there by his brother. I'm just a bit concerned about Justin. On that last lap, he looked a little bit slower than what he has been. I wonder if he might have picked up a bit of an issue on the car. We'll have to keep an eye on that one. And Samanga now, putting the pressure and coming along for the ride onto the back end of Jaden Else. 3 ex-karting champions and karters in their own right, fighting there with Dean Fenter, a man who comes out of single-seaters as his main point of career, but he, of course, drives anything. Oh, there you go! Squadra Corsa in the house. And looks like Natium Samanga has just given Buxy Kabani a little bit of a nudge there through turn 4. He ends up in the kitty litter, but fortunately able to get back on track. That's what it looked like in slow-mo. Oh, I don't want to be down in that pit lane, but they, of course, are great mates off the track, and there is no team orders down in Squadra Corsa. This is the development team, remember, for Volkswagen Motorsport. Great to have these youngsters giving it everything they can. Out front, Dario Busi seems to have opened a gap now, and it looks like Justin Oates could be in a bit of trouble, as I said. He's now fallen into the clutches of Clinder Mercedes with a lap to go. He's going to try and hang on here. It's going to be Universal 1 and 4, Total Exilium 2 and 3 if they stay as they are to the checkered flag. Oh, look at Poseidon looking for a way around. He realizes there's an issue there. Justin Oates is having to go defensive. He goes defensive once. Holds that line. That's great driving. Clinder Poseidon trying to find a way through on him. They would have fought before in karting. Poseidon was a little bit younger than these two, but certainly had his opportunities to have a go at them. And he's now having big opportunities in Oettinger Polo Cup. Looking for a way around the outside. He's going to try and drive around the outside, hang on to the outside line for turn 7. That comes in 2 corners time, the double right-hander. This is Justin Oates with Poseidon on his outside through Kenwood. That's good car placement there from Justin Oates. Just squeezing the second man along, and he drops him down to 4th place. Poseidon will realize that's it. No more opportunities. Dario Busi takes another victory in the Oettinger Polo Cup, and will cement his lead of the championship as he comes through to beat out Darren and Justin Oates for Total Exilium. And then it's Clinder Mercedes, the second of the Universal Motorsport cars, beating Matt Shorter in the Munro car, Stian Creel in the Creative Inc and Motormod car, and Jury Swart in the G-Energy beats out Adrian Wood for 8th place.
Darren Oates, an incredible run there from you, buddy, and I'm sure you're pretty happy with the performance of the car. Front row and exactly where you wanted to finish up, but your brother gave you a bit of a run, and so did Clinder Mercedes at one point.
Yeah, I think Dario didn't have a great start. I almost got him before turn 1. Then I stuck around the outside for turn 2. So that was a bit of a risk to take. Luckily, I didn't lose a position to Chris Shorter there. But yeah, I'm quite happy. I think Dario made a few mistakes before the safety car. I could see he was under pressure. But after the safety car, I don't know. I think the cars just get too hot in the slipstream. So as soon as I saw Dario starting to pull away, I knew that I need to settle for second. So I'm still happy. I want to thank Total and also Lee Thompson for preparing the car.
Dario Busi, that's the way you do things, buddy. Maintaining the lead in the championship and exactly how you wanted it to go for race number 2. You got away at the front. I think the safety car might have been a little bit of a concern, though.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's just before the safety car came out, I used my push to pass. And obviously, being in the top 3 of the championship, I already have 1 less than everyone else. So I was a bit bummed about that, only having 3 and all the guys behind me had 1 extra. But Universal Motorsport Team Racing Polo was on it all day, and the pace was extremely good. and felt super comfortable in the car, and obviously I managed to hold the gap there. But yeah, I think, Justin had a very good day. Obviously a bit unlucky with his draw, but he came back. But yeah, like I said, Justin's had pace all weekend, and it was just good to get one over him and not obviously lose too much. But yeah, if my calculations are correct, we are currently...
Your calculations were spot on. 78 points, plays 66 for first and second. Dario Busi at the top ahead of Justin Oates and his brother Darren down with 60 points. Yuri Swart 51, and what a drive from Poseidon to stay in the top 5 with 46. Arnie Niveling, Matt Short and JP van der Walt make up the top 8.
Well, that's it, Oettinger Polo Cup. Another round done and dusted, and what an incredible round of racing we've had here at Zwartkops on the Extreme Festival. Dario Busi goes into the next round, still leading this championship, and a difficult man to beat, having taken a victory here today. But you can see both the Total cars of Darren and Justin Oates and the Signature Motorsport cars, as well as some of the Cape Town boys, Yuri Swart, and ex-Cape Town boys, Dion Krill, have found some pace. Whether or not they can keep that pace into the next round, we'll have to wait and see. I can't wait to bring you all the action from the next round of Oettinger Polo Cup.
All this action from Zwartkops and the Polo Cup was proudly brought to you by Ferodo Brakes, Total Exilium Fuel, Falcon Tires, and Oettinger.